Hello, boys and girls. This is lesson 2, Follow the Water. Evaporation, condensation, cloud, precipitation, freeze, melt, water cycle. What happens to a puddle of water after you finish playing in it? Can you jump into that same puddle tomorrow, next week? Where does the water go? Water exists in 3 states: solid, liquid, and gas. That's not like Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. What makes water disappear? Where does the water on the ground go? How does water get from one place to another? Why does water disappear faster in some places than in others? You have learned that particles of matter have energy and are always moving. Now you'll find out how heat energy plays a role in how water changes its state. You'll learn how water moves from different Earth surfaces into the atmosphere. Water in the deepest parts of land and bodies of water is quite cold. Water is warmer on the surface because it is heated by the sun. Heat energy from the sun causes the particles of water at the surface to move rapidly. As they absorb heat energy, these moving water particles go through the process of evaporation. This means that the water particles change from a liquid to a gas. The gas, known as water vapor, is invisible and rises into the atmosphere. High in the atmosphere, particles of water vapor move slowly because it is very cold. These water vapor particles lose heat energy, slow down, and condense or change from a gas to a liquid. This process is known as condensation. Condensation. Dew is a familiar form of condensation. Tiny droplets of condensed water in the atmosphere form clouds. When droplets of water and clouds come together, they get bigger and heavier. Gravity, the force that pulls things toward Earth, causes the heavy droplets to fall. I guess this is the evaporation and condensation cycle. So number 1, heat energy from the sun makes water particles move quickly. Water evaporates from Earth's land and water surfaces. Water vapor and invisible gas rises because it is lighter than air. Cold air, it looks like we lost the picture. Cold air makes water vapor particles move slowly. They condense or change from a gas to a liquid. Condensed water particles form clouds. What is precipitation? Water in the atmosphere falls to Earth as precipitation: rain, snow, sleet, or hail. The form in which precipitation falls depends on the temperature. Most precipitation falls into the oceans. The precipitation that falls over land may also fall directly into lakes and rivers. When rainfall is very heavy, water will flow. This is types of precipitation. Water will flow over land into rivers. Some water also soaks into the ground as soil water or groundwater. Will the rain in the atmosphere fall as rain, snow, sleet, or hail? Are there any clues that you see or feel before it rains or snows? The type of precipitation depends on the temperature outdoors. It also depends on the amount of heat energy in the particles of water. Cold temperatures cause water to release heat energy or lose heat. When this happens, the moving particles in water slow down. The water may freeze. This means that the water changes from a liquid to a solid. Ice and snow are solid water. Warm temperatures allow water particles to absorb heat energy. This causes ice and snow to melt or change from a solid to a liquid. How does water travel? By now you know a lot about water. You know that water can be found in many different places and in 3 different states: solid, liquid, gas. Water doesn't stay put. It moves continuously from place to place. This never-ending movement of Earth's water through evaporation, condensation, and precipitation is called the water cycle. As the diagram shows, water is used over and over again. However, it is never used up. All the water that was present when Earth began is still around today. The sun is the energy source for the water cycle. Water changes state when it absorbs or releases heat energy. here is the steps involved in the water cycle. Starts with the water evaporating. So it works this way, up and down and around. What kinds of precipitation do you get? How does water in the atmosphere fall where you live? Rain, snow, sleet, and hail are different forms of precipitation. You know that rain falls as a liquid. Snow, sleet, and hail are solids. Snowflakes are small crystals of ice. Snow forms in air that is well below 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit. In very cold air, water vapor changes directly to ice crystals. The crystals grow in size until they are heavy enough to fall as snowflakes. Hail forms when frozen drops of rain fall and are blown back up into the clouds by the wind. The size of a hailstone increases each time it goes up and down through the cloud, collecting more water. Falling pieces of ice that are 5 millimeters, 1/5 of an inch, or larger are called hailstones. There have been hailstones as large as 13 centimeters, 5 inches across, and weighing more than 450 grams, 1 pound. When rain falls through layers of cold air, the raindrops freeze to form sleet. The pieces of ice that are called sleet are usually smaller than 5 millimeters, 1/5 of an inch across. It's a big hailstone right there. Why it matters. How water moves in the water cycle affects everyone on Earth. You use water every day to drink and cleanse yourself. By looking at clouds, you can tell if you need to bring an umbrella. Maybe it will snow and you can test your new sled. Knowing what the precipitation might be is also helpful to farmers when planting crops. The water cycle is nature's way of recycling its resources. Thank you for listening.